Namaste, Angel. This is the weekly reading for the period of October 16th through the 22nd. We're starting with it's 50-50, which can be about like things like give and take, balance, or literally like splitting something down the middle, in like a bill or something like that. We got, or something can go either way, like a 50-50, like maybe this, maybe that. Also buy shoes. My daughter's been doing a lot of that lately. She's been ordering so many pairs of shoes. Foreplay, which this time I feel like it has something to do with the number 4. Number 4 might be significant to somebody. Massage and outside. Spirit says blank. Oh no, this is Wet and Wild. Sometimes for me that can have something to do with water and fire, or maybe like the elements, water and fire signs. Maybe try again. So I will try again with that one. Still massage. So if somebody needs a massage, should get a massage or give a massage. Spend money. Maybe you should spend money on a massage. And outside still also. Forget it. Spirit says forget it. With the cards, we got somebody destined for fortune, luck, some sort of turnaround, a positive turnaround. And it could be something they've been waiting for a really long time to happen. And then now, like, reaping what they've sown. They put some energy into something, or they worked on manifesting something, or the universe, it's in their cards, it's in their stars for them, and but they've been waiting for it, and the universe is finally sending it to them. Could have something to do with a Sagittarius. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune rules the planet Jupiter, which is the ruler of the sign of Sagittarius. Also connected to the fixed signs, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. But of course, that doesn't have to have anything to do with those things, but it could. And we got an Emperor, represents the planet Mars, and the signs of Aries, and again, Scorpio. And I mean, this good fortune could be something that's happening with the Emperor, maybe in business, your company, your job, promotion, money coming in or something. Or, this person is also like destined for greatness. They could be walking away from an existing situation, even a relationship or something, and moving on to a much better one. Here we have community in the this is my energy deck, or the energy deck. We have community, which is 3 people here on this card, and it's card number 7. 7 is about divinity and God. So, like, again, blessings from the universe. And then it looks kind of like a 3 of Cups type of card. You got people getting together. It could be about some sort of reunion or celebration. Again, destined for greatness, moving towards something. And behind it is up. The card is also upright. It's also a 7. 43 equals 7. And it's man holding a coin. So it's kind of like a King of Pentacles. Why can't I talk today? And maybe specifically Taurus, again, connected to the Wheel of Fortune. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Or again, a boss, somebody who's getting a promotion, a new job, who's going to come into money. They're again destined. This is a card of destiny and fate and luck. So like destined for fortune, destined for greatness. And it may be cause for celebration, or it may have something to do with a reunion, reconciliation, if it's with if it's about a relationship or something. And it's 2 sevens. I was just looking at 2 sevens in my new birth certificate. I got a copy of my handwritten birth certificate, and the time on it is different from the time that had always been on my birth certificate, the typed up version. Very, very strange. Everything else is the same, but it's just the time, which I find very weird. So there's nothing exposed on this side. I don't know. I feel like I should pull one though. My soul recognized yours from the moment I saw you and looked deep into your eyes. You are my heart's desire. This card can also be about that, right? It can also be about, again, desire, but destiny, something. And I said this person is moving toward, their destiny, their fate. So this Emperor could also be representative of the divine masculine. And this, again, could be about reconciliation. Maybe somebody from whom he's separated, or the relationship, if they are in contact or maybe even some sort of commitment, it's not, the relationship still isn't where it could or should be, where it's destined to be. And so there's a coming together there too. And this is like emotionally, they still feel some kind of way about whatever it is they're walking away from. You know, they still feel some sort of emotional, I don't know, conflict or something. When I see this, I'm saying like when you see it. I don't know how you feel when you see it. When I see it, with looking at these moons, and it's just like they're you know, in the water, there's an emotional connection. But moving on, but that happens even when you are moving on. And look, the card behind it is the Ten of Wands in reverse, and I just used the word conflict, and it's the Five of Swords, the next card, and then death. So yeah, it's like death to the conflict. I mean, but even when you leave, like a job, for example, let's use a job because I just feel something about money for somebody. Maybe they're leaving the job under, you know, circumstances that aren't the best. They aren't the most pleasant. Maybe they've been fired or laid off. And so that's why they feel emotional about it. Although it's sort of like laying down a burden as well, because there had been conflict there. Maybe something happened at the job and they were blamed or whatever. And that's why they, you know, lose it. That's one example. And that may very well happen with somebody this week. I forgot what I was going to say. I lost what else I was going to say. But even when you're leaving somebody of your own choice, or leaving a job of your own choice, like the people you leave behind, so you could be laying down the burden of, you know, being unhappy. Maybe something happens also. So it could be like a blackout or something, like the job is closed, or your business or something. Like it's like unexpected. Something happens, and the Tower's in reverse, so it's not like the worst thing that could have possibly happened, but it is some sort of upheaval that, you know, changes things. So that could happen, and you still got to leave behind like people that you care about or your customers, your clients, your coworkers, whatever it is. And so that you feel some sort of way about it. And of course, if it's a relationship, you know, leaving one relationship, even if it's a shitty relationship where you've been conflicted, especially if you were particularly tied, like if it was a long relationship, the Emperor sometimes for me is like a married man, a divorcee, a widower, or something like that. Possibly a Virgo. We got the Hermit. Possibly a Gemini. We got the Magician. And then the Page of Swords behind that. So, you know, even if it was like a bad relationship, you're still going to feel some type of way. I really wanted to be divorced. I didn't even want to ask for anything in the divorce. I just wanted to be away from this man that I had physically been away from, or he'd been away from me for some time, and I just wanted, like, on paper for it to be over at that point. And that doesn't mean that I didn't feel anything. He's my children's father. We were together for a great portion of my life. Like, I spent my entire youth with him for the most part. You know, we got married very young. I was like 23. He was like 22. And, you know, we were together, you know, into our 40s. So, you know, you still feel like I'm walking away from something, and it's an emotional situation, even though it was a burden to me, and I'm laying it down, and I'm happy to be out because we've just been in conflict for so long, and, you know, the relationship's been dead, essentially, for so long, and maybe I'm having this realization or revelation, yeah, what am I doing here? So I got to get out. You still feel some kind of way. But what they're moving toward is something much better, something for which they're fated, something for which they're destined, or someone for whom they're destined, like the relationship of their dream, and it's going to help them to fulfill their purpose. So one thing that I've been sort of thinking about a lot lately, speaking of that, with the purpose, I might as well cut these cards while I talk to you, is that I've just been feeling like a lot of these masculine are trying to sort of make everything perfect. And it's funny, I just saw the Hermit and the Virgo, because Virgos are all about perfection. Make everything perfect before they come forward. And like, you don't have to do that. Like, you're supposed to be able to work together in a lot of these cases, sort of like a power couple, like, you know, a dynamic to fulfill your purpose together. Or like, part of fulfilling your purpose is the connection. So this is something to think about, putting that out there. And maybe you're used to doing it all in your old relationship. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you went out, because it hasn't been 50-50 like the die we saw. And maybe that's why now you should forget it as opposed to continuing to try again. The die tend to give us messages that are connected to the reading as well. So now, after cutting, we got on the bottom here, family and work responsibilities are weighing me down, burden, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. There you go again, burden, 10 of Wands. How can we make this work? By you putting those down and us working together, as I was just saying. You know, I always say it, like, sometimes I don't know why the hell I'm saying certain things, why something is coming out of my mouth, but there's always a reason for it. And we just found out together, I think. So that was the reason for that. Speaking of things that come out of my mouth that I don't know what the reason is, the other day when I did a reading, so I guess it was the last week's reading or the moon reading that I did, I talked about, I said that I had been seeing somebody getting over their fear of water. And I didn't know who that was about or what that was about, but something might happen and they're going to be fine. They're going to get over their fear of water, or, you know, or something might happen to them while they're trying to get over their fear of water. Well, there were two things that I saw in the news that it could have been tied to. One was a guy that cannot swim, literally rowed a boat, you know, he can't swim. He got in a rowboat and rowed from New York City to Ireland. I had also been saying the color green was very significant in that reading, that same reading. So maybe that was tied to him, the green and the fear of water. He was trying to get over his fear of water, apparently. Oh, like that was part of it, you know, part of what he was doing. So that's why he took on this large mission without even knowing how to swim. The other was that it was reported that Genuine, the singer, was filming a show with a magician, celebrities working with magicians and doing some sort of, you know, and doing tricks and stuff. And he too was trying to get over his fear of water because he can only hold his breath for 15 seconds underwater. And so he was trying to hold it longer than that. And I think it was Chris Angel reported in the newspaper. I think on the radio I heard David Blaine. I don't know. It was some kind of famous magician that was working with him too. And so he was in this tank of water like Houdini, and he started knocking on the tank like he was in distress, and they pulled him out. And when they pulled him out, he was still conscious or whatever. But like right after they pulled him out, he passed out and became unconscious and was taken to the hospital unconscious. But anyway, the whole point of that, the reason why he was doing that type of trick, that particular trick, was to get over his fear of water. And they used those words specifically. And I said, oh, that's why I was made to talk about it during the reading, because I had no idea why. So, long story short, I was explaining why everything that comes out of my mouth has some sort of meaning, even if I don't know what it is. Anywho, I think this Three of Swords speaks to, again, leaving something that was stressful, difficult, challenging, whether it was a relationship, a job, some other kind of situation, moving on from it, right? So if this Three of Swords was this way, you'd be like maybe more currently experiencing the pain. It is this, so you're getting over it, and that's what's enabling you to walk on away now. I also talked about the tower, and we just saw the tower again. The tower and the bombs. When I had looked at the tower card, that may have been the week before, and I said I was seeing something about bombs. I think I mentioned it still last week. In any case, Russia. Things are really heating up over there, and Russia has been bombed. We got the Ace of Swords now. So this is really nice to have the Ace of Swords following the Three of Swords in reverse, because again, this is when you're getting over the hurt, pain, loss, separation, whatever it was. And this is the new beginning. And it's a new beginning. The Ace of Swords is like the only one that's a new beginning following some sort of pain, loss, challenge, difficulty. It's like victory over whatever that was, right? And we have it here involving the King of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So this could again be something happening. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And the King of Pentacles. There could be two kings for some of us. For others, these could be two different people. They could represent you, yourself. I mean, this could be your own energy, but I definitely think this relationship. Look, the Two of Cups in reverse and another king, the King of Swords in reverse. So it's looking like this guy is who's out. King of Pentacles we had before with the Oracle deck, the energy deck. He may have been feeling some lack, and again, that's going to go away. Or he may have been feeling left out in the cold or ghosted, or he may have ghosted you. Whatever the case is, there's a new beginning here too. And this is somebody who's got their... I don't know what's going on with my voice today. That's probably going to mean something too. Gotten their emotions together. Maybe there's somebody that's going to finally be able to find their voice and to speak and to communicate what's been going on with them. In any case, the King of Cups is potentially a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Ace of Pentacles is about abundant, new beginning. In the case of relationships, this is going to be long-term. This is going to be a relationship that lasts. You know, it's divine. It's like being handed to you by God. It's going to be abundant. You know, you guys maybe, again, are going to be a power couple. You're going to work together. You're going to, you know, be successful together and not have to worry about lack. Now, he may be worrying about lack on his own. And he may be one of those guys I was talking about that's trying to make everything perfect. Earth signs are definitely like that. And I said specifically Virgos. I like that. They're all about everything has to be like in order and whatever. So he may have lack on his mind, even though there is none. And new beginning. Anyway, let me shuffle the next, cut the next deck. Oh, isn't that beautiful? It's the 10 of Cups upright. Okay. If you can hear the noise, I don't know if you can. I apologize. There's a lot going on in my house. My daughter's friend celebrating his 21st birthday today. And they've been out and back and forth, like in the house, out the house. And right now they're back in the house. Some people are sleeping over. It's the life of the cool mom. What can I say? Angel of Balance. So that 50-50 that we were talking about. Another Magician. Some manifestation. Manifesting a really supportive and caring connection. And walking away, as we saw with the 8 of Cups, from shit that didn't work. Here's you planning. Here's the perfection. Here's the strategy that we got to come up with before we make a move and head down this path. Or able to pull ourselves away from an attachment that we've had and finally take action. Okay? I don't want to accidentally turn any of these over. All right, so now I'm going to do this reading like I did the moon reading. So I will take away these for the moment. And we need 3 of these, and we need 3 of those. Okay. Whoop. That's not good. That was not good. Hang on. Okay, now we got ourselves together. Anxiety. Door to value. And the caring connections. And the angel of balance has ended up back on the bottom of the deck. I don't know if you saw as I was doing that, this was not the same card. All right, so that's those 3. Nothing can break the bond of love between us. All of me loves all of you. You are in my heart now and forever, and I will always be faithful to you. I actually think that was the 3rd one that came out. And I have a lot of fears, and I'm not ready yet for a relationship. And that's fair too. That's another thing that I've just observed, and that we should be aware of, whether you're the masculine or the feminine or something else, however you identify. We shouldn't presume that coming forward, that communication, that connection means that we have to enter a relationship. Like, you don't have to stay away until you're ready for a relationship. Not being ready for a relationship is something that you can actually communicate to another person, and maybe they're not either. You may learn that, you may discover that, rather than working on presumption. Just putting that out there again, something to think about. I think particularly these are like the same kind of messages that we saw as I was like going through the cards and shuffling and stuff. Somebody worried about something, conflicted about something. But really, if they just make a move, they're destined for something far better, for, healthy relationships and success in their finances, like the job, relationship, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to put the tarot decks back here. I guess I'll try to put them in order as well. Order of how I shuffled them. So we have the deck with the 3 of Swords in reverse, the deck with the Ace of Swords upright, and the deck with the 10 of Cups upright. So now I'll turn them over now that you guys have seen that there was no funny business with the cards. And we'll take one from each deck to clarify each of these, like I did with the moon reading. All right, so the first one, clarifying, nothing can break the bond of love between us. All of me loves all of you. So we do have somebody who's feeling maybe not so much, they're not necessarily feeling the love. They're feeling conflicted about it. And this is probably somebody who needs to give themselves some love. And this can also sometimes be an energy vampire, so maybe because they don't feel that you feel this way about them, or they're even claiming to literally not feel the love that you're sending them or that you're giving them. They're instead trying to suck it from you. So you want to be aware of this kind of connection or relationship, and it may actually be a female or feminine energy, and possibly an actual water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. If not, someone likened to the traits and attributes of water sign, or somebody who's very emotional right now, and maybe kind of like emotionally unstable even, at least to an extent. What else do we need to know about nothing can break the bond of love between us. All of me loves all of you. 5 of Swords. So somebody has been conflict. There has been conflict, or somebody's been conflicted, or maybe both have been conflicted, and maybe that's why the love isn't evident. Maybe it has not been communicated, or maybe it's been communicated poorly. With the 5 of Swords showing up, maybe there's been gossip, there's been presumption. Again, swords are about energy that's in our head a lot of the time, or logic. This can be about distorted logic with the 5 of Swords, so not seeing things as they actually are, and why we're ending up in a situation. I talked about self-sabotage on my Facebook page today. This can be that type of situation, like, when you're just Queen of Cups in reverse, again, unnecessarily maybe sucking somebody's energy, making them emotionally exhausted because you've made up a whole scenario in your head. And also decision. So somebody's like indecisive, confused, and they have to pick a cup. So maybe, again, because they're not feeling the love, or they don't trust it, or they made presumptions, or they've made a story in their own head, they think that they have to decide what to do. Again, I feel like this is really about somebody just being like emotionally unstable, and if they would make a decision with the 7 of Cups to communicate, things could be a lot better, to actually verbalize what it is they're thinking and feeling in a healthy way. They might not be in a position to do it in a healthy way right now, though, with the Queen of Cups in reverse. So put feelers out if you feel that this resonates with you, and this could be your story. Further clarifying, I have a lot of fears, and I'm not ready for a relationship. This is an indication of fears right here. These people could definitely be the same people, that's giving this message. Whether it's it's usually going to be the masculine, that's sending the message to the feminine. Because if there's a separation, it's usually at his hand, but it doesn't have to be, right? But whoever's not ready for a relationship could be the same person that's saying, like, don't worry, nothing has gotten between us, and nothing ever will. I just have fears about being in a relationship. And we got this Page of Swords in reverse. So that could be definitely an indication of that. And maybe of poor communication or lack of communication also. Page of Swords may actually be a person in your life too, possibly younger or more youthful energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Also, that could be an indication of this being communicated, and it's in reverse because that, maybe it's hard to hear for some of us that the person that we're interested in or that we feel connected to isn't ready for a relationship if we are. What else? The Knight of Swords, though. So this is taking action in a more positive way, and information coming to you, enabling you to make a decision, or it is a decision sometimes that someone else has made, that once we know what that decision is, then we're able to take action, or once we make a decision, we're able to take action, and it's going to be very swift after that. But the movement is going to be very quick once that happens. This also, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, again, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and may actually be an air sign. Now, in the specific to love, in the tarot, the Knight of Swords, particularly upright, coming rushing in, is one of these people who can sweep you off your feet. So this could be talking about the two parties involved in this situation. Somebody may be coming running towards you, and then you're saying, oops, you're running towards me, but hold up, I'm not ready for a relationship. Could be what happens. What else we need to know about this? Oh, so much air. This could be air on air love, maybe. I mean, it doesn't have to be, of course, but it is a real, genuine connection, like a soulmate connection, divine counterparts, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, with the Lovers also showing up to clarify. Major Arcana card, the Lovers, most directly represents the sign of Gemini in the tarot. So with the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords, Gemini could could very easily be involved, or another air sign perhaps, or even I guess even a Virgo I was trying to think of what other signs, or Taurus. A Taurus is also ruled by Venus, and Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius, is located there. So yeah, this could be most strongly a Gemini, or the other air signs, or a Taurus, or a Virgo. I mean, it could be anybody, but I would say in that order of strength. Anyway, we have, you are in my heart now and forever, and I will always be faithful to you. So this is like, even if we're apart, I guess, you can still trust me. What else do we need to know about this? We got the Page of Wands in reverse. Fire energy, more youthful, perhaps. Page of Wands in reverse can be about something that started a long time ago. So this can be a connection that's really long existing. You know, maybe you met as kids, or if you're still young now, you know, maybe you met very young and you had like an innocent puppy love type of thing. Or if you're older, you know, maybe you met in high school or college or whatever, and now you're like rekindling, or you know, some other time in your past and you're like rekindling this, but it's been a while. Again, may involve an actual fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes. But I think the message is, you know, you're saying the person is telling you this, that you're in your heart, in their heart now and forever. So like you have been for a long time with this Page of Wands, you still are, and you always will be, like whatever happens. What else we need to know about that? The Three of Wands. So you could be at a distance from this person, physical distance from this person, and they're on their way in, or this could be representative of your manifestation, or their, you know, their manifestation of you, or you guys manifesting each other, and it's happening. One thing else about, I would say about the Three of Wands is, if you are, you know, who has been trying to manifest this connection, and you've been reaching out and whatever you've been doing to try to make, you know, even if you have not reached out, you've just been praying or doing whatever it is you do to manifest something, the Three of Wands is an indication that you've done all you can do. Like, if anything else is going to happen, the next move has to be made by them. And what I do find interesting, or what's sticking out to me, is this is like the other wand. They have the other wand for you to complete the Four of Wands. You know, the joy, the happiness, the connection, the commitment. They have it. So you're going to have to wait for them to bring it. You've put all the energy that you can into this already. And there's like nothing else you can do. What else we need to know? Two of Cups in reverse. You know, so again, this is like a genuine connection. Obviously, when it's in reverse, both of you have your emotions spilling out. You know, you have the love spilling out, and your cup not being replenished, right? And not staying full. So that's what we need to work on, focus on, what needs to be corrected if the relationship is going to work. This can also be a warning about a platonic relationship, that we're not like causing problems in our friendships by giving too much attention perhaps to our love lives. Not that we can afford to ignore our romantic relationships, our partners if we have one, our commitments, you know, but you need balance, right? You need balance between your life with your social life with your friends and your relationship and everything else that you have in your life, your family, your work. There has to be balance between all these things. So that's another possible meaning of the Two of Cups in reverse. It can also mean that like a romantic partnership is doing well for the most part, like in a general way, but you know, it speaks of again imbalance potentially, while also speaking about like friendship and joy and you know, just like connection and sharing. So it could be relationship, it could be romantic, it could be platonic. I had been thinking about something, and I meant to mention this because again, I mention the random stuff that comes to my mind because it tends to mean something. I had been feeling something before I started this reading about like a platonic or a business relationship, a person that you with whom you have a platonic or a business relationship that's interested in you, that wants to make it into, something more romantic. And that could also be why there's a I'm not ready for a relationship or whatever as well. Specific to love, this can be about it being time to like forgive and forget. So again, looking at the Page of Wands in reverse, if it's something from the past, from a long time ago, something may have happened, or something, or not happen. Like sometimes we remember stuff differently from other people. When I was having dinner with my ex a few months ago, and we were talking about something that happened when we were kids. We were, maybe like 17, 18, and the way that I remembered it, one of his closest friends hadn't been there for him. And I was upset about it for like all these. I mean, I wasn't walking around angry like, oh, that guy wasn't there for him, that, a million years ago. But it bothered me, and I've had it with me, I guess in my heart, or wherever you hold these things in my mind, for 30 years, And he's like, no, that's not right, So I was just, I don't know, that just came to me just now about people not remembering things properly sometimes even. So that's just much more of a reason to let it go is what I'm getting. But whatever the case is, whether you remember it correctly or not, this Page of Wands, again, is an indication of something having happened in the past. And the Two of Cups in reverse, specific to love, traditional tarot meaning potentially is that it's time to like let go, forgive and forget something that happened in the past and to start fresh. So, maybe you go from just having to make promises of, I love you now and forever, to an actual caring connection where you're coming together in a more healthy way. Now, what do we need to know about the anxiety? So this is like being afraid to take the leap, Also, the Fool in reverse can be about us having grown so independent in our lives that I don't need to be specific to love anymore. I already did the love things. Well, but specific to love, I'll go ahead and give you the meaning. Like our independence could potentially get in the way of our desire to have a relationship or us trying to have a relationship. Sometimes we can, when we are, and I don't want to knock anybody who's single, or discourage anyone who's single from acting single, including myself. Because I have never been so single, so manless in all my life. Like, all my hoes done cut me off or whatever, or vice versa. And it's just a really bad state of affairs. Like, usually you even have, you at least have like your baby daddy or something. I'm that in the corner, like, even though I haven't slept with mine in a million years and had no plans to ever again, we're not even in a position where it could remotely possibly ever happen again. Like, we're not even speaking, so I'm just like really, really manless and single right now. And so I'm sure I'm behaving like it. People could make presumptions based on that, right? Like, I'm not open to a relationship. I'm not ready. I'm not relationship material. I wouldn't know how to act. I'm too independent. I'm too alpha female, all this kind of stuff. And maybe that is what some of us actually truly give off, is what the Fool in reverse potentially is saying. And that will keep you from a relationship. Or if you actually are trying to build something with somebody, but you are still like exhibiting certain behaviors and practices and not really making time for them or whatever, that can be a meaning of the Fool reverse. So since it's showing up with anxiety, this can be somebody worrying about, like the card that we saw that was, I guess, at the bottom of the deck when I read the secret love messages that said, work and family and all this stuff has me overwhelmed. Person could be worried about all those things, like how am I going to be in a relationship? I got all these things as an independent individual going on in my life. I'm stressed out about them. I'm stressed out now about how am I going to also try to have a relationship. So that can be one thing. Otherwise, if it has nothing to do with relationship, which it may not, if it's just about some other kind of situation, this could just be about being afraid to take a leap, right? We're having anxiety because we're afraid about this new beginning. Fool is always about a new beginning. It's often also tied to spirituality. So this new beginning could be part of a divine purpose. It could be tied to some sort of awakening, or ascension. You're leveling up or something like that. And so that can be scary. What else do we need to know about the anxiety? We got judgment in reverse. So maybe you feel like you're being judged. Maybe you are being judgmental of yourself. Again, you're making up scenarios in your own head, and that's why you're feeling anxiety. But for me, judgment, whether in reverse or upright, is always a positive card. It's about abundance that's earned. So with this new beginning, this opportunity, and this abundance that awaits you, you've earned it. You've deserved it. Whether it was like by physical labor or just by, positive good works and treating people kindly and do unto others that you have them to do unto you, the universe is rewarding you or awarding you or recognizing you in some way. This can also be about actual judgments, as in like legal judgments or something, and maybe there's a divorce, so that's the new beginning, and somebody's anxious or worried about that. They're nervous about that kind of new beginning. Judgment is also about second chances, so something coming back around to you. Could be a relationship, could be some other kind of opportunity. It's been job in the past couple of weeks too. It's been both, because judgment has been showing up. I think it's the first time it's shown up in reverse in a while, but it's been showing up like every week for the past few weeks. And so far it has been about relationships coming back around, maybe unexpectedly, and even a job coming back around, like somebody's old job calling them and telling them they want them to come back to work, which they did. So again, this is going to be about something coming around. Judgment can also be about, finding that you're at some sort of crossroads, and that could be tied to the spirituality of it too. Sometimes when we find ourselves on a spiritual journey, it is like a crossroad. Do I, continue to level up and ascend and go further and deep, delve deeper into this, or am I going to make a free will choice to, stay where I am? Right, stay put and not grow. So that could be what that's about. Door to value. Door to value. So we do have the Seven of Swords. There's a situation of distrust here. So for one thing, you may want to be careful. I'm not saying walk around paranoid, but be aware of a situation where somebody could be trying to rob you, whether it is, like blatantly, like snatching the purse, or, like trick you out of something that belongs to you in a sneaky way. This also doesn't have to be about like tangible stuff. Sometimes the Seven of Swords is about the potential loss of other things. It can be about a loss of opportunity if we're not careful. We could miss out on this door to value. Like I said, we could remain stuck. This can also be about something that was lost being returned, or someone returning to your life. But usually the way I pick it up when it is about somebody returning to your life, like they're the same, and like they haven't changed, or whatever the situation was, with them is the same, like it hasn't changed. So sometimes that's good, I think that most immediately I tend to think about it as a negative thing, like they haven't changed. But sometimes it's good. Like sometimes you'll be like, oh, you haven't changed a bit, and people are happy about that. So that could be the case too. What else do we need to know about door to value? Ten of Swords. Yeah, this is like somebody trying to keep you from this door to value. or to take it from you. Could be a friend. Like I said, you could be ignoring your friends maybe because you're always focused on this love life. Or maybe you're not giving, or the friend is worried about that. And so they are, with the Five of Swords and Page of Swords, maybe they are trying to talk you out of a relationship with somebody you're interested in. They're trying to keep you away from your abundance. This is what I'm getting from this. With the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords atop the door of value. It's someone or something trying to keep you from your abundance. And with her looking at her phone, she could be reading something. It could be about text. It could be, again, somebody telling you, somebody's in your ear saying, something that they're creating some sort of obstacle. What else do we need to know about this? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So you're still going to have it. You're still going to have this abundance, but this obstacle, or somebody may create an obstacle that causes some sort of delay. I'm debating pulling another one. Let's see. Now we got more of this Swords energy. The person that's an obstacle, we got Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ten of Swords. Again, maybe an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, male. If they're not an actual air sign, someone, again, likened to the traits or attributes of that. And within, in reverse here, they may be somebody who, again, is emotionally unstable. Maybe in some way, maybe you can't even tell it, but they're like an energy vampire. This Queen of Cups could be representative of them too. Could be what I was getting over here about the platonic friend that has some sort of interest in you. Maybe the interest isn't romantic. Maybe they just don't want to lose their like BFF or something, or they're jealous. That's also a possibility. The King of Swords is also somebody who's very stubborn and set in their ways, and maybe doesn't want to change, and so they're causing you that type of problem. What else? Look, it's the other one. It's the other Ten of Swords like card, but it's everything is fine. So again, this is getting canceled out. We got it canceled out last week too. They were back to back last week. This Ten of Swords is going to be canceled out by this. Everything is fine. It's getting neutralized by that. Everything is fine with the same image. All right, so again, somebody could be trying, but you got to keep an eye on your own ball and take care of your own stuff. Look, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So there's somebody's trying to cause you to lose, or maybe you're going to cause yourself to lose some sort of abundance. That's the concern. That's the danger. Causing yourself to lose some sort of abundance. Maybe either if you don't trust yourself, or if you trust the wrong person. All right. What do we need to know about carrying connections? It's time to put your guard down and be vulnerable if you want carrying connections to happen and work out. What else? Another Seven of Swords. Yeah, watch your back. Don't let anybody take your opportunity from you or derail you. Like, this is something you have to figure out yourself. If we're talking about your life partner, a long-term relationship, somebody for whom you're destined, your true soulmate, don't listen to somebody else about what they think about that. Don't let them confuse you and tell you what you should be doing or shouldn't be doing with regard to that person. This really has to come from your heart. This has to be a heart versus head decision made by you without these kind of negative influences to decide really what's best for you. Also, again, somebody could be... You could have more than one person. Remember, we saw all those kings before. And you could have more than one person returning, and perhaps one of those people, at least one of those people, is the same as they've always been. And that probably isn't good. Probably tied to the King of Swords in reverse. I just see like a lot of darkness in the background here that makes me feel like, don't trust this. Also, it could be tied to this and the need to let your guard down. We got the 2 sevens again too. I was talking about the 2 sevens earlier in the reading. 7 of Wands and 7 of Swords. So you could be lacking trust in yourself, lacking confidence, and sometimes we cause ourselves to miss out on situations. We self-sabotage with that kind of thinking. Again, the judgment, the self-judgment. So instead you want to mix this, and you want to let your guard down and be a little bit vulnerable, and open yourself up to actually being able to have a caring connection with somebody. What else we need to know? Queen of Swords in reverse. Then we get the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords in reverse. So there's some kind of couple potentially too, in I guess another version of this, another scenario of this, or I mean when we have a king and a queen of the same suit, show up in the reading, it's representative of some sort of divine counterpart situation. So that's what I meant by that. They don't have to be the actual characters that are together in your real life. Certainly doesn't have to be an air sign, but this is another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, someone likened to those traits or attributes. And in reverse, she too tends to be representative of somebody potentially unstable, who is like a little too pushy. So this could be a warning too, if you want to have caring connections, not to like push yourself too much on a person. We can't force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. Again, if you're in this situation, you've already done everything that you could possibly do, and now you got to wait for them to come in or not. Like the rest is up to them. It's on them now. If they're going to show up with that other wand or not. This is also potentially the person that's butting in, that's representative of the seven of Swords, that's causing you a problem. This is the Queen of Swords in reverse is often like a mother or mother-in-law, or someone of that type, who is just like, again, in your ear, doesn't like your mate or love interest or whatever for whatever reason, or tries to talk you out of it. This is an obstacle person a lot of the time. What else do we need to know overall? Ace of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody is tired of their relationships, and or their job is really like sort of overwhelming right now. But when it comes to relationships, the Page of Pentacles in reverse is about like being really bored with your love life and stuff. And lastly, King of Cups, upright. Very nice. So for a bunch of people, I mean, this is definitely, like I said, about a relationship, a new relationship, and you're ready. Either you're bored because you're single and you're ready, or, to try something new. Doesn't mean you have to jump directly into an actual commitment, but at least, get started, right? There's a new start here for you, a divine new start. So either you're bored with your single life, or you're bored with your current relationship and you want to spice that up, or you want to walk away from it and end it. And we do have, a stable, emotionally balanced, romantic, generous type that is coming along, that is, presenting himself. And even where it comes to work, if this is you, again, this is a very generous energy and a healthy energy, a balanced energy. And so even in the case of work, you'll end up doing something that makes you happy, that makes you emotionally pleased to be doing it, where you feel like you're helping people. The King of Cups is very charitable and like philanthropic, again, generous. And he is possibly a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And that's what I have for you this week. There is nothing really exciting happening on the celestial calendar. There's one thing on the with the theology on the Christian calendar. It is the feast day of Saint Luke, and it's so funny because I was also talking about Saint Luke on my Facebook last week. I don't know what got me to talking about this, but I realized that I was just missing a Luke, in terms of the men I've dated, even if it's been a short time, to create my biblical collection. Like I've had a Matthew, Mark, at least one, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Joseph. I of course am a Mary, and so I mean, I haven't had a Luke. He's the only one that I haven't dated. So I was talking about Luke, and then here's his feast day. So if you want to stick around, I will get my computer and talk about Saint Luke. This is from www.franciscanmedia.org. Saint Luke, October 18th is his feast day. Luke wrote one of the major portions of the New Testament, a 2-volume work comprising the third gospel and the Acts of the Apostles. In the 2 books, he shows the parallel between the life of Christ and that of the church. He is the only Gentile Christian among the gospel writers. Tradition holds him to be a native of Antioch, and Paul calls him, quote, our beloved physician. His gospel was probably written between the years 70 and 85 AD. Luke appears in Acts during Paul's second journey, remains at Philippi for several years until Paul returns from his third journey, accompanies Paul to Jerusalem, and remains near him when he is imprisoned in Caesarea. During these 2 years, Luke had time to seek information and to interview persons who had known Jesus. He accompanied Paul on the dangerous journey to Rome, where he was a faithful companion. Luke's unique character may best be seen by the emphasis of his gospel, which has been given a number of subtitles. Here they are: the Gospel of Mercy, the Gospel of Universal Salvation, the Gospel of the Poor, the Gospel of Absolute Renunciation, the Gospel of Prayer and the Holy Spirit, and the Gospel of Joy. Luke wrote as a Gentile for Gentile Christians. His Gospel and Acts of the Apostles reveals his expertise in classic Greek style, as well as his knowledge of Jewish sources. There is a warmth to Luke's writing that sets it apart from that of the other synoptic Gospels, and yet it beautifully complements those works. The treasure of the Scriptures is a true gift of the Holy Spirit to the Church. Saint Luke is the patron saint of artists, painters, brewers, I guess as in people who make beer, butchers, notaries, physicians, and surgeons. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. I have to put up, or at least upload and send out to their owners my client readings. And I may also be back early with next week's reading and the full moon reading, because I don't want to miss out on, the new moon reading. I don't want to miss the opportunity to do the new moon in Scorpio reading, and because there's going to be a solar eclipse also with it, and I will be out of town, or unavailable, so I may do it early. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and comment to this one. I do appreciate it, and I'll probably see you sooner rather than later. Namaste.